Hey everybody, Real Estate Ninja here. I've got a great story out of Zero Hedge. It's about Morgan Stanley and it's very important because it's about their commercial real estate exposure. People need to understand how big this is, and as this gets bigger, it is going to cause the mortgages, the mortgage industry, and the amount of lending that goes out into the residential side to completely collapse, which is going to lead to a bigger real estate crash. Okay. Morgan Stanley slides as credit loss provisions surge due to commercial real estate exposure. On the surface, Morgan Stanley's earnings should have been made strong enough to prompt a boost in the stock price, unlike the biggest competitor, Goldman, which yesterday tumbled after reporting lousy Q1 numbers, including a rare miss in FICC-MS. Not only beat across the board, but also saw its investment bank generate stronger than expected results. Even so, both revenue and profits dropped year over year, with net income down to $3 billion or $1.70 per diluted share versus net income of $3.7 billion or $2.02 per diluted share for the same period a year ago. Here is a summary of what the bank reported. Just going to throw over a couple numbers real quick. And by the way, this is the Real Estate Ninja channel, not the Economic Ninja. It is a different channel that I put different content on. If you're a subscriber at Economic Ninja, if you wouldn't mind hitting the subscribe button, I'd really appreciate it because I bring different videos here on this channel. Earnings per share, $1.70, beating the estimates of $1.65, but net revenue, $14.52 billion, beating estimates of $14.7 billion. Now you'd think that all of these numbers are really good, and I'm not going to bore you with the minutiae of all these numbers, right? Because it talks about wealth management revenue is up, all these numbers, right? But check this out. Here are some notable numbers. Total deposits, 347 billion versus an estimate of 352. So their deposits dropped, right? A lot of banks have lost deposits. There are a lot of people right now buying gold and literally physically taking money out of their accounts. They're also taking money out of one account and moving it, diversifying. The Silicon Valley Bank implosion really woke a lot of people up. Thank heavens. But they're doing that. They're moving it from bank to bank, diversifying. They're also literally taking it out of the system and buying gold. Gold sales are off the charts right now. Non-interest expense it was a 10.5 billion with estimates of 10.12 billion. So cost went up, right? Compensation expense 6.41 billion versus estimates of just over 6 billion. So their compensation went up too, right? Net income came in at 2.35 versus estimates of 2.46. Their net income dropped. So there's little small differences, and I believe quarter two is going to show even more shocking numbers. Now, right here, the bank also noted that the wealth management attracted 110 billion in new assets during the quarter, leading to 6.6 billion. Now, these numbers are all sort of hyperbole or are probably causing your eyes to spin back in your head. But check this out. Let's talk about this. They talk about compensation. They said this, so far so good, but what has spooked investors this morning has sent the stock price lower after an initial knee-jerk higher. The bank's admission that not all is well specifically relates to the credit event boogeyman du jour. To wit, Morgan Stanley revealed that it took a provision for credit losses of $234 million, more than double the estimated $99 million, and more than quadrupling $57 in Q1. $57 million in Q1 of 2022, and here's why. The increases in provisions for credit losses were primarily related to commercial real estate and deterioration in the macroeconomic outlook from a year ago. Let me explain that in simple terms. The losses that they are seeing right now in commercial real estate are very serious, right? Along with all these other banks. As a matter of fact, SVB, when they were getting split up by the Fed, and the FDIC came in and started to split it up, none of the banks wanted to touch their commercial assets because it has been one of the greatest secrets in banking for over 2 years. I started reporting about CMBS, commercial mortgage-backed securities, failing Not last June, but the June before that. I don't know of anyone. As a matter of fact, Google ranked my videos #1 because nobody was my CMBS videos, nobody was reporting on it. And this was something that was dark, a deep, dark secret in the mortgage industry. And it was happening even before COVID started. COVID made it 10 times worse when everybody left the offices. All right. So the CMBS market was fracturing in 2018, 2019. It's gotten really, really bad. And it is the elephant in the room. As a result, after briefly spiking above $90, Morgan Stanley stock has dipped as low as 86.5, which, however, is hardly a disaster as it represents a value seen just this Monday. And that's the point. A lot of traders have no concept of what is going on. They put out all these numbers and they go, oh, things are good. Like we beat on this number, on this metric, on this metric. But what they're doing is these provisions right here that they've doubled or tripled. It's because of the elephant in the room. And that is going to get louder and louder and louder in the next 6 months, when by, I believe, at the end of fall, you are going to see all of the news stories being about the commercial real estate market. And you'll be able to say, hey, I heard it on the Ninja first. Guys, thank you to everybody who hit the subscribe button. This is my secondary channel in case something happens to my main one. But I do mainly real estate information here. I'm trying to prepare people for this real estate crash so that you can buy more houses than you ever believed possible, build real generational wealth through cash flow and through uh, buying at the bottom of this next cycle, because it's going to be very interesting. I lived through the last one, and so few people remember or know how to take advantage of it. With that being said, the Real Estate Ninja is out.